And after that last incident, we're back to the Lost Crown and we're gonna explore the church. And as you can see here, there's some kind of...
The graveyard is well kept for somewhere so isolated.
As you can see, there is some sort of weird line in the middle, and it actually goes...
Large black
It's
crows
actually
are watching
in
you.
front of that verse, so it's kind of like it's some kind of weird... I don't know if
I just wanted to say that the video quality is going down now. The pictures, bro.
That's weird. Anyway, so
Church
crows,
is castle-like.
graveyards, lots of stuff here. You probably saw earlier we picked up a metal letter. That's actually going to be important for something later. But around this door should be a book.
Is that a crown?
We found the crown. That's it. Game over. No.
No, it's just
Not
another
quite.
Ager journal.
Could you really see it on the book? Because I haven't really paid attention.
Thomas Ager.
We found Thomas Ager's journal, and summary is that he conspires to murder a man named Gurney in an attempt to stop him from finding the lost crown. And it also goes into detail how the Agers all joined together and tried to stop people finding the crown. Going with the belief that if the crown should be disturbed, Ingrid would fall. So we have two Agers who both murdered people who they suspect are looking for the crown.
A pile of rubble, masonry, and broken gravestones, covered in weeds and flowers. Nature is taking back what was borrowed.
Interesting.
Amazing poetry.
I won't lie, that church bell in the background's kind of getting on my nerves because I swear it is the exact same sound effect from Armello, which plays whenever the dawn comes along and it shows like how everyone's doing. It's the same bell sound.
The church.
Probably is.
The church.
Anyway, shirt stained glasses all have the same
No
thing.
one has been through there for decades.
And Dammit somehow knows that people have been there, not been there 2 decades, despite never been here before. And really just now I'm just exploring, trying to find all the metal letters, since they're kind of scattered all over the place. But unlike the ingredients, I have a lot of luck finding them, and I've found them almost all
No
in
one
one
has been
round.
through there for decades.
And I believe if you look around, there's one, yeah, that's one right over... It's a bit hard to
Decorative
see, but it's
gravestone.
down by the drain.
A rusty metal letter.
Bloody hell.
Oh, yeah, that's quite hard to see.
That was
I wonder
very
if
hard
you
to
can
see.
decipher the stuff on the gravestone.
Yeah. Yeah,
Can you
that one was
decipher it?
probably the worst one of the bunch, since it was so well blended with the background.
I mean,
No, I
I
mean-
did see it, but I didn't
mean the
realize it was a
gravestone-
letter.
Yeah.
I mean the gravestone itself. Can you decipher it? Because you can barely see the letters on it.
Not really. There's only one gravestone with notes. The other ones are just there for atmosphere, I guess. But this gravestone right here is the one that has all the letters missing.
Ah.
And basically, you just put all the letters in the right place, and you spell out the name eventually.
Imagine spelling a root word with that, like, bum or something.
I wish.
Yeah, that's harmless.
Just rearranging the letters on the
Yeah.
grave.
Yeah. But we're actually getting a bit ahead of ourselves, and we haven't been tasked to fix the sign. But we are soon going to talk to a person who will do so after I explore some more.
Large black crows are watching me.
They're all part of a surveillance system.
Yeah.
With Wi-Fi.
Pattern surveillance system, they're all
A
crows.
rusty
They're
metal
like crow 1,
It's above
2,
the head
3.
and it just kind of robotically goes zzzz, aiming towards Nigel's face.
Yeah.
Like
The
looking
red glow
for
in the eye as the recording light.
Yeah.
looking for Wi-Fi networks, and you see all crows like crow 1, 2.
It's Nigel just looks up close to one of the crows. Why has this got an antenna in it?
Anyway,
Excuse me. May I disturb you?
Yes.
No worries, lad. You don't disturb me.
Immediately trust him.
I'm visiting the church. I've travelled from Saxton.
Well, ain't that something? Run along, lad. Do your visiting.
it's like a grave-digging pirate.
Yeah.
It's kind of awesome.
Strange job you have.
Actually, the
Grave
voice actor for
digging.
that guy is the same voice actor for
Prepare in the
Danvers.
bed is what I prefer to
Oh,
And I think it's
okay.
the voice, though both voice actors are actually the guy who
When
made the
did the
game.
crows not come into this area
Jonathan
of the
Boakes, I believe?
churchyard?
Them old crows know better than to dwell
I believe
near
also
open
Danvers is
graves.
based off Jonathan books as well. So in a way,
Can you
it's kind of a
spare me a few moments?
self-insert.
I have some questions.
Although I'm
I'm
not
rather busy,
100%
lad.
sure. It's just what I
If I
heard.
can get my work done,
He became a
I'll have
pirate
some
who
time for
program who became a grave digging pirate in the game.
Perhaps I can help.
I was
you
feeling more
probably
Danvers.
can.
It would be cool if it
Just say
was
the
more
word,
like the
and I'll be
Gravedigger though.
straight on it.
Oh, lad, you are eager. Perhaps you'll be the lucky one.
The lucky one?
Hey, somehow I've been
Oh,
crypting
don't
it
mind
forever.
me.
About time.
Just speaking out loud. I'm only used to the birds, you see. Damn birds. Black as ink they are. They've taken poor Tom again, taken him, and scattered him all over.
Bloody hell, it's
What do you
inconvenient.
mean?
Taken his name, and scattered him all over. If you put poor Tom together again, I reckon I might have a few moments
It
to,
sounds like they
converse.
torn apart the corpse.
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
see what I can do.
But basically, the crows took his name from his gravestone, and that's why we're picking him up. And in fact, you can only get this letter
A
if you talk
rusty
to him.
metal letter.
So it actually was important that you actually speak to the Gravedigger.
Ah.
Now, I think we almost have all the pieces.
We have the technology to put Tom together as a better Simon.
We have the technology. No, we can rebuild him. We have the
Yeah.
technology.
Yeah.
That's the right way around.
A
And
rusty metal
that
letter.
should be the very last one, if I'm remember things correctly.
Rebuilding Tom.
And I put the
That
cursor on it.
blanking looks so.
I put the cursor on the
that
crown
blink-
to make it look like I had a monocle, just because I was really bored of walking
Yeah, I
around.
think it looked very irritating when the eye
William
goes up
Ager.
and down, like
Ager.
open and
Ager.
closes.
A name to look out for.
And William Ager was the guy who was in the first journal,
A link to the
the guy who supposedly killed the girl in the caverns.
So how
Hell,
many
died at the age of 31. Jeez.
Yeah, we'll
how
get
many
into that.
Agers are there?
There are 4.
Oh dear.
So we've seen 2 of the journals of 2 of them.
Tom Oliver. So now
And
I
we'll actually
know.
get to know more about the
gravestone
Agers
is complete.
during these 2 parts.
Remember Tom Riddle from Harry Potter?
I
The-
don't
Oh,
remember
yes.
as much.
No, he's Voldemort. It's just like the
I
letters
finished putting
switched
four old
over or
Tom back
something.
together.
Oh, so it's like an anagram.
But presumably with
Yeah.
extra letters added in, because I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
there isn't a V in Tom or a Riddle.
Yeah, I think it was
If you
something
have something to
additional.
ask,
Anyway, now
Why
we
are there
talk
so
to
many
Gravedigger.
crows in the churchyard?
they say there's a crow for every soul in this yard. They do.
Last year one died.
Watch how they be looking at you. The bad side of a crow's gaze has been known to strike a man down where he stands.
It's like Pokemon, but mortal.
It's just sort of Nigel just gazes at a crowd of just this flock of crows that's staring right at him, and then you hear sort of screen transition, and he enters into a Pokemon battle.
Funny enough, the
Death
latest
Stare.
Game has like crow-like
I knew
Pokemon.
William
Yeah.
Ager.
Death Stare.
And they even like the transport system, so you actually use
He
them to
wasn't,
transport around
how shall I say
the
this?
region instead of using a
Quite
Pokemon
right
that
in the
knows
end.
fly.
A bit similar.
Death Stare. You have to restart the game because it
This was
died.
back in the 1940s.
Anyway, now he's talking about
Ager
William
didn't
and
go
how
to
he was
fight.
sickly,
He was sickly.
and
Bad
basically was
breathing, bad
kind of
heart,
retarded in a
bad
way.
everything.
Didn't go.
They say the family spread their seed too thinly. Deformities and so forth.
So was there incest involved, or were they like inbred or something?
Was
Maybe
there a connection
inbreeding.
betwing the
Yeah, I
Agers
think
and the
maybe
legend
that.
of the Anglo-Saxon crown?
There's talk that
Yeah.
those Agers knew the location of that last crown, and I'm guessing they weren't the only ones. People don't go looking for things that don't need finding. The people of the Fens are superstitious folk, you know.
No,
They
really.
believe in the old ways, the ways of the land. It's best not to disturb them who sleep.
What connections do the Agers have with the church?
Oh, that's a good one. Thomas Ager was a rector of this parish 200 years past. Odd fellow he was. Greedy and deceitful. We ain't allowed to talk about him to the vicar. He won't hear a bad word against him. But I can tell you there was darkness in his heart. Old Nick knew it. Some say it cost him his life. Poor old Nick.
Yeah, there's gonna be
It's
a
how-
lot
Can I
of
find out
talking
more
people in this
about the Ager
episode.
family?
Excuse for that.
William Ager,
Yeah.
he died in the 40s. Terrible for him.
Deploy a counter that I got on
He
Christmas
died
and
of
forgot to
tuberculosis,
deploy.
Water on the lungs. I heard he was near hysterical, terrified that there'd be no one left to carry the family name. You see, some folks say the Agers were guarding a great secret, entrusted to the family for centuries. I'd start with the museum folks in Saxton,
Oh, the
or
museum.
old Nanny Noah.
Will you
What?
dive
She
more
knows a
them
thing
there?
or two.
More or less.
Oh,
Can I
no.
ask
I did
about
go.
something else?
It's just
Go
more I have
ahead,
to summarize
Dad.
everything in the museum, and there's a lot of it.
The church is very
Like the majority of the
isolated.
next part is just going to
Why
be
is
the
that?
museum, and I
A
have to
great
summarize
plague. The Black
almost
Death.
everything, every single
12th
exhibit
century
there.
war. A terrible time, lad. Truly terrible.
But the timeline is a bit confused. So they were talking about the guy, the Nick, who knew someone 200 years ago in Ager, but it sounds like the gravedigger himself knew Nick or
Mother
something.
deserted her young.
Very weird
1/3 of the people
timeline.
died.
Well,
all
it's,
across Europe.
it's a bit.
Timber buildings
Well,
soon run
we'll
away.
see later. There,
And there ain't nothing to show for Northfield.
going a bit ahead. There's
There's
this
some
guy Nick
ghosts
is
of
actually
his
buried
former
inside
self.
the church, inside a tomb. You'll see it later.
Okay.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Aye, that I do. The friends we have
Do you
in life are
believe in
sworn.
life after love?
Are there any ghosts here at
Sorry.
Northfield?
You're looking out for him,
Aye.
Mr. Danvers.
I'd say so. Old Nick walks this church.
Why?
Dark. He's looking for something, that's for sure. You've probably met old Nick. He's in the church, laid out on his back, poor devil.
Church! Like the way he
He ain't
pronounces
the
that.
one you want to
Yeah.
see.
I
A
think-
word of warning, though. Be careful
Yeah, I
when you're
think
looking on him.
when you aren't like buried like
Watch
on
out.
your back but on your belly, then it's
Well, I
like
never.
oh, that
What
you
a
were a
question.
horrible person
I
or
can't say
something.
I know. Spirits,
So,
maybe? Those who
not
need to move
honourable
on. There's something they have to
Burial
know.
or something.
Or something they want to tell us. Maybe they've got unfinished business with the living. Either way, I don't bother them and they don't bother me.
I kind of forgot how long these
Can I come
conversations are.
back here tonight?
Wow,
The
it
ghost
Yeah.
it goes
I've
on.
admittedly
Ghosts,
completely
is
stopped
it?
paying
Those
attention.
who go looking for
Me,
the
you should
dead are
insert like a
asking for trouble.
SpongeBob time
You
title
watch
card,
what you
like
do.
15
The
hours
dead folk of
later.
Northfield won't take kindly to
Sam
disrespect.
talking later.
Yeah.
But if you're determined, I'm thinking I might leave the doors open tonight and light you a few candles.
Anyway, I'll let us ghost hunt in the church later tonight. Fun times.
Can I ask about something else?
Did a
No,
function.
it will take million years.
I'll get on with my visit.
And we're finally
Be
done.
seeing you,
Hopefully
laddie.
he will
Be
not
seeing
pass
you.
that one. I like how slow they are.
Everybody's slow in this universe.
Yeah, I think because otherwise it looks even weirder how they move.
Alright, and so the notice board has a couple of
The
things
flowers
of
are
note.
dry, old, and brittle.
As
The
fast as
Dutch
we can
angle.
the first note is just general information about the church. It existed for over 200 years. The
2000 on the
2000
religious side.
2000 years, yes. Apparently it was
side
converted
itself.
from an old building during the Anglo-Saxon time, I believe. I think I actually took a long time looking at that note for some reason. Anyway,
Yeah,
the
letters,
second note is just general history about the church. It mentioned that Nicholas Gurney has a tomb built inside the church, which was referred to, or Nick. The third note is a bit interesting. It's a memorial service from Evelyn Ackerland, and it notes that Mr. Russell almost fell into a bonfire due to flowers being plastic, as he was throwing them in the bonfire. And it actually reads, "Please let us not kill the church warden." The fourth note is a poem about positivity and pleasantry.
I should make sure no one.
Wait, so it was forbidden to use plastic
Paranormal
flowers in a
investigations.
fire?
Yeah,
or
they
something.
asked them not to use plastic flowers because
Ah,
Mr.
okay.
Russell almost passed out into the bonfire.
Bloody hell.
And it literally
Ah.
reads at the end, "Please let us not kill the church warden."
I'd like to just say, considering that this is a church that Nigel says has been left untouched for a decade, it's actually in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
Those walls are nice and
It
clean.
looks like a tourist center of a church you visit.
Yeah, we'll actually go into
I mean,
that more later. They did mention that the Black Death struck Northfield, and that's why a lot of the buildings are isolated and
The Black
torn down.
Death comes to eat
Speaking of which,
animals.
the Black Death book, it talks
Morbid.
about the Black Death and its symptoms it causes to people, and how there were plague pits built all over Europe and they have been forgotten, so they could potentially be living under plague pits right now. Charming stuff. And I'm just taking my time looking around everywhere in here. Also, we put that camera down there because Danvers somehow had saw that there's going to be a ghost haunting this place and wanted the camera to put up so we could take the camera automatically. What it actually means, it'll tell us when we're done exploring the church for ghost activity. And right now we get to do a little bit of ghost hunting. We can't do a lot of it right now since it's just the day. We'll be returning at night to do some proper ghost hunting later. Unfortunately, I don't think this stained glass is of any importance right now. I try on my ghost gadget, but I get nothing. So I'm assuming you have to do something with it later tonight. Continuing on, I think there are a couple of interesting hotspots around here.
Ghost hotspots.
The
Yeah.
choir stalls are empty.
That's more or less what they are. And again, the here kind of tells you whenever there is some sort of ghost hotspot you can interact with.
Oh.
Imagine if a ghost holds like the hand in front of their face, like, oh, don't fail me or something. That looks a bit like old American colonists, like the
Yeah.
head a bit for some reason.
And that's not usually a jump scare, but be forewarned, something's gonna come up. Yep.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
what you doing here?
Yeah. And we can also get a recording of the ghost from here.
Oh,
Yeah.
There's definitely something. I should listen to the recording.
And I go ahead and
A
listen to the
recording
recording.
from the church pews.
it sounds like a mad percussionist.
Really does.
I think it's supposed to be someone being tortured, like someone nailing a guy into a plank or a tree or something. Which is why it's
Or a
giving
cross?
agony.
You just hear somebody say, "It's a dead parrot."
Oh god. Yeah,
Bloody hell.
this goes on for a while. It's supposed to be like spooky atmosphere.
Oh. Wow, I think the speed at which the wheels are rotating reflect my mood. It's like, get on with it.
Yeah, this one kind of drags on for a while. Don't
There
worry,
really
it's
needs
over
to be
now.
there really needs to be a speed up button or something like that.
Was there a noise at the end, or was it just when you stopped the recording?
That noise just indicates the recording is looping, and that there's
Oh, I
nothing more
see.
to listen to. Anyway,
Okay.
here's old Nick that Rusted was referring to. The graveyard.
Ah, yes. Good old Nick. Good old friend Nigel.
It's a coat of arms.
Those coat of arms will be important later on for a puzzle in the church later on, but for now, just keep a note of the locations.
These panels should have some sort of decoration or carving. They have been worn smooth.
And nothing we can interact with yet. And some more ghost hunting. This really is a slow episode today, unfortunately, because...
I mean, I'd say that ever since Nigel started up this ghost hunting business, it's kind of gotten very slow in general.
I suppose it's how
What on
ghost hunting is
earth
supposed to
is
be.
that?
That you just hope you find something interesting and...
This could be orb activity.
Oh no, not orbs.
What? Just that little bit of dust that's going past the screen.
Yeah, apparently it's something actually ghost hunters look for. I don't know much. I probably should have gone look it up to see what it means.
I don't know, maybe with something with energy or something.
Yeah, something about ghost energy or whatever.
Pokeballs from beyond the grave.
Ghost Pokemon.
Oh no.
We need that thing that allows us to see what the ghost actually looked like in...
Sylph
The other
scope?
church is a mystery
I think
to
at
me.
least.
Yeah, I
Perhaps
think
I should
something
keep that
scope.
in mind.
I don't remember.
Isn't the company Sylph Co or something called?
I don't know.
And the scope was like Sylph scope.
Anyway,
Wait,
that
let me
noise
check.
indicates the cameras caught something and we're done
The
ghost hunting.
statue's hands appear to be missing.
I think there is
Sylph
still a couple of things we can look around for in this area.
Yeah, it's called Sylph scope.
Yeah.
Sylph.
I don't believe this is of any importance since we used the mouse cursor. I think the recording might pick up something though. No. Oh no, it's in another area actually. I think a lot of these hotspots are supposed to give us something during night, like I mentioned before.
Oh
And
no,
also this-
dramatic shot.
Yeah, this room is kind of a big maze since a lot of the exits are not kind of clear where to go. Right, I think this is the last hotspot for ghost activity.
What is that?
It's a name and it's lighting. Ooh.
No, I was just laughing because the way he said it, it almost sounded like he said every single word individually in different takes, and they just stitched it all together. Because he was like, instead of saying "What is that?" he went, "What is that?"
Yeah, it does.
Wow.
Stellar voice acting.
There's definitely something. I should listen to the recording.
Okay, this recording is a bit loud.
A recording
Just a heads up.
from the church
You
sanctuary.
might want to lower your volumes a tiny bit.
Will do.
I guess it's not really loud, but it's really sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what you get for this is that one of the Aegers stole the hands of someone. And considering that the statue tomb of Nick didn't have any hands, you might assume this is this ghost telling us that someone took his hands. And he's kinda miffed about it.
That sounded like some really screwed up like ghost ASMR. That's what it really sounded like.
So he took his head or his life?
His
Aeger-
hands. It's a bit unclear, but he took his hands. He saw that the statue before, in the middle of the church, had no hands.
Okay.
Anyway, there's the camera, which now has a picture for us.
The camera has captured something.
And if you try to use the camera on anything in a room, you get nothing. So you're supposed to wait until night to take pictures around the church. Anyway, a new person to talk to. So prepare for another long
Good
conversation.
afternoon, Vicar. May I speak?
Joy.
Oh, very well, if you must. but time and tide wait for no man, and I've lost something terribly important. I really must find it.
Maybe I could help you find it.
Oh, bless you, dear little man.
So of course, we eventually came. We have to do something
Can
for
you tell
someone
me
before they will
what
do
we are
something for
looking
us.
for?
If I could, I would. I simply can't remember. I just know that I need it, and it's terribly important.
Well, where did you leave it?
It's around here somewhere. Oh, then again, let me think. Where would I have put something so important? My memory is not what it was.
When did you lose it?
Ah, I believe I lost it between Wednesday and Friday.
I would like
Right
to
now.
you guys to guess what he
Feel free
lost.
to wander God's house.
We actually saw it before we entered the church.
Enter the church.
Yeah, it's inside. It's somewhere in the church. Anyway, portrait.
No, my internet
Something
was
about
broken.
those eyes. Pure hatred.
Pure hatred.
There's so much hatred that they literally break the color filtering on the camera because they're pure color rather than green.
And my internet was broken. I just wanted to say like, oh, that narrows it down between Wednesday and Friday.
Yeah,
It's something.
it's something between Wednesday and Friday. Could it?
Is it
not?
Thursday? Yes, I forgot to read
It actually is Thursday.
Thursday. The vicar lost Thursday.
Oh, that sounds so stupid.
Yeah,
Oh, damn it.
you have to.
Wow.
He forgot about Thursday, and so you have to remind him about
damn
the,
it. It's
the flower arranging thing.
dumbest person ever. Oh, I can't
Good
get over it.
afternoon, Vicar. May I speak with you?
Oh, very well, if you must. For time and tide
And
wait
next,
for no
I
man.
think next
I
time you have
found
to
this
find
on the
December or
notice board.
something.
Yeah.
It appears to be a service plan for next Thursday.
Oh, dearie me, yes, I lost Thursday.
Oh,
I'm
it's,
always losing
that's the
Thursday.
dumbest sentence I've ever heard.
Thursday specifically.
I
Like
lost
not
it.
Monday, not Saturday, not like the rest of the week, just Thursday specifically.
Thursday
Lovely
specifically.
arrangements. A
Ah,
true symphony of petal, bud, and leaf.
It says Nigel. I just asked him, "What are the days of the week?" And he goes, "Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday."
I'm sure I can do that. I was planning to return to Saxton once my business here is finished.
Anyway, he wants us to
Business?
give that
Oh, how
get
very
note to
odd.
Nanny Noah so
What
she can make
business?
flowers
Does
for
the
the
name
memorial
Ager
service.
mean anything to you?
Ager? Ager? Yes, that name does ring a bell. Let me see.
And we're gonna go back to talk about the Agers.
I believe the Agers lived nearby.
It's a very old name in these parts, so I wouldn't doubt it. There's a William Ager buried in the churchyard, along with his ancestors.
Did the Agers have strong connections with Northville Church?
People just retreading what we already
Oh,
talked about
good
with
heavens,
Rusted.
yes. Thomas
Unfortunately.
Ager,
Aye.
who died in 1799, was a rector of this very church. I must say that I am thrilled to find our history so interesting.
Interesting, yes.
no.
Thomas Ager was a vicar.
No, dear boy. He was a rector. There's a difference.
I don't
Did
know
he
all the
worship
church names.
At the
Me
church.
neither.
Oh, yes.
I've never
It was a
even heard the
most
term
devout
rector,
soul.
so yeah, I
His
don't know.
name is
I
listed
bet
on
it
the
also
rune
depends
scroll
on which
by the
church you're
chancellor.
in, and
You'll
the
find
ranks
it.
are different, so it's...
I'm just gonna
Possibly.
Google it.
Happened to Thomas Ager?
It's
Rector.
interesting that you should
Huh.
ask, as there's a
Actually-
whiff of mystery surrounding his
See,
name.
now that I
like
think
the-
about it, the term
He
rector
came
does
into
ring a
large
bell.
sum of
The
money.
incumbent of
Most
the
of it
parish
he
where all
plowed straight
titles
back
forthfully
into the
passed
church.
on the incumbent.
When money
I
is
don't
given
think
to
that's
Oh.
a
right.
worthwhile cause.
I mean, maybe you have to
people
look up like the
accept. The questions asked.
What, Anglican church? Anglican
What
church?
is the difference
Did
between a
Thomas
vicar and a
Ager have a
pastor
large
at the moment? A
The
vicar is one
Agers
of the
were a
specific
very
Oh.
large family in Thomas's time.
Oh, okay, sorry, I was
Family
mistaking
numbered
rector for
eight,
pastor, never
who
mind.
finally vanished some years ago.
Yeah, I don't know.
William was the last, poor wretched soul. He
Anyway,
drove
he's
himself
basically
to
supposed to be like an
grave,
important church person.
He was in a
Despite
terrible
the fact he's
state.
supposedly killed.
The family line was
The
drawing to a close, and he
Nicholas.
feared there would be nobody to carry the family name. I always sensed that he carried with him a terrible
And they talk about the William, how
secret of
he
some description.
had a secret,
Perhaps
but
it was
he
a
died
family
before he could
secret,
reveal
passed
it.
down from one generation to
And
the
that
next.
secret is something to do with the
I
lost
dare
crowns
say
the
old
Aegers were
Thomas
hiding.
Ager would have shared the burden in his time. But that is all in the past, and we must always look to the future.
Like the
And we have to
high-pitched
talk to him about
voice.
these things, because if we try to leave, Dan will say, no, I have more to investigate. So
Can
we
I
have
ask
to do these things.
About the church.
Of course you may. Go ahead.
Who is that in the painting?
Ah, that's my great. Oh, he's an ancestor.
Oh,
a
damn
very
it,
old
it's so
one.
boring.
He was vicar.
Will we die
It just
before
goes
this
great,
stuff?
great, and then it's just like SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Oh,
Time
no.
passing title card like
Yeah.
a few months
Yeah.
later, and he's still going great.
Wait, I made one grade too much. Now I have to begin from the start.
Ah, no, start again.
I mean, I know it's kind of rude, but this goes on forever. I think
It
the music
does.
is the best part of this thing, and
To be honest,
everything
I'm actually looking to get rich and
else drags
famous.
on.
Motivation is always a good thing, no matter what the cause.
Murder.
The devil makes work for idle
That's
hands,
not a good-
you know.
Yeah, that's kind of a questionable logic
How
there.
long have you been
Idle
vicar
hands is
of
the
this
devil's
church?
work. Oh no.
Yeah, I think it's
Idle
because-
games are from the devil.
I
No.
moved back
I think
to
because
this area
love is
30
supposedly
years
one of
ago.
the great sins,
still
like
new
the
to the
177
parish.
sins.
Yeah.
30.
And so apparently
I'm
having
30
motivation to do
years old.
something is
Why do
better than
people
having
still
no
see
motivation
me
at
as
all.
an outsider?
Even if that
There are
motivation might be
families around Northfield
selfish.
with ancestry
kinda questionable.
dating back to the doomsday.
Aren't there like 7 big sins
I
and
am a very
7
new
minor
arrival,
ones?
you
I
see.
think that's a bit more complicated. I
I
think.
don't know.
Who
I
is
don't.
the
Maybe.
stash?
I think
Of
yeah, I
the
think they are like
sleeping
big
I have
ones,
no
the
idea.
ones you
There are those
probably
I
all
know
heard
one
of,
of the
and
big
then
ones
there are
like
minor
wrath,
ones. I think.
But I'm
Sloth,
not one of them.
Yeah.
Gluttony,
That statue takes
lust,
up valuable church space
envy,
and is a
etc.,
distraction
etc.
to the congregation.
Trying to
It is
insert a
trial to
USB
keep their attention at the best of
Cable
times.
wrong way.
It gives
No.
off a strange atmosphere, almost as if that corner of the church was special in some way.
It has Wi-Fi.
Special? I have not noticed anything special.
Do you play the
The
violin?
most important question of all.
Oh no, not for an awfully long time. There just are not enough hours in the day. The Lord, in all his generosity, provides ample time for contemplation, but my violin will have to wait.
I bet this old church has secrets.
Oh dear, you young people are so adventurous these days. Always looking for darkness in forgotten corners, and mystery in your own shadow.
It's a
But I
church.
dare say this building has seen some horrors, mystery, and intrigue.
Unfortunately, you won't get to
They
experience
say
any of them.
the building is built upon
Aw.
an Anglo-Saxon sanctuary.
Back in my day,
What
we
if
were
that-
never very adventurous. We just sat there and took the entire world for granted.
Obviously are.
Yep.
You should speak with
We
old
looked in
Bradford.
our own
You could
shadows
Find him in the
and
church.
ate our flesh. Wait.
Can I ask some
I think
other
it's
questions?
almost over though. Don't worry.
Can I ask about the churchyard?
I'll help you if I can.
Do you mind the crows? They seem to own the church.
All things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small.
Hit
I
him!
cannot
Hit him
dislike
before I
them
finish
all.
the
They
song.
are all God's creatures.
And copyright strike.
No, but they are rather more.
goodness.
Cease and desist. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Old faith in these parts believe that the
Oh
crows,
my-
spies,
That
and
sadly is
messengers
like
of
the only
dark
interesting
lords
thing. Just him
and
suddenly
other
singing out of
thoughts.
nowhere.
Silly, superstitious.
He was an awesome rock musician
Though
in
I
the
must admit that they
30s.
do seem to watch our
Where
progress
rock
through
didn't
life
really
with
exist.
envious eyes.
because the timeline is broken anyway.
Yeah.
The churchyard is kept very well for such an.
Imagine Back to the
isolated
Future and this.
Oh yes,
Game,
Mr.
oh,
Russet
that must
keeps
be
the place
screwy.
looking spick and span.
Yeah, so
But
the
he's not
reason why
hiding
the
from the
church is so
crows.
well maintained is
He
because
hates
Mr.
the feathered
Russet and
feelings.
the
They
Gravedigger
terrify him, in
taking
fact.
care of the place.
Ah. Okay,
Why
fair enough.
is the church so isolated?
The Black Death, my boy, the Black Death.
We destroyed
There
all
was
the
once
other
a
ones.
thriving community based around the
Just
church tower. When the disease struck the village, it came with no warning. Whole generations were lost overnight. Terrible, terrible tragedy. No evidence of the old village remain, as many of the buildings are now hidden by the encroaching woodland beyond the church wall.
I mean, the Black Death must be like hundreds of years ago in this case,
I'll
not
have a
like
look around,
5 or...
if you don't mind.
Feel free to
Yes,
wander
it was
God's
supposed
house.
to be like hundreds of years ago.
Yeah. All this part is so boring that the only people who ever bothered to live there are dead and no one else wants to
Yeah.
live there.
Anyway, so long story short, this whole summary of this place. The Aegers were a family who were trying to hide the
I think I've
crown, killing
collected enough
people
information.
who were trying to seek it.
Time to
Northfield
return
was
to town.
once a thriving town, but it was destroyed by the Black Death, and the church only remains because the Russet kept it maintained. And that's all we really got from this place. And now we get to go all the way back to Saxon, through the marsh and everything, to the museum.
I hope that something cool happens when you find all the 3 crowns and combine them or something.
Actually, we'll get to that.
No,
now.
don't tell.
I'll get to that later, but there's only one crown left in the world now. We'll explain more later as we get to the
Okay.
museum part. Because it talks about the crowns and more of its legends.
Oh.
And that's the end of the episode. Be right back when we get to the next part. Oh my god, I need a drink first.